And this is where MAGA comes to talk. Welcome to the stream, everyone. And I'm on my way to the radio station today. That's why I'm leaving almost 2 hours before showtime. It's a long drive there. And I got to stop and get coffee along the way. All right. So I tell you, Trump is so smart. These Democrats, the Democrats and the never Trumpers, they'll just never get it. They'll never get Trump. They'll never understand Trump. They'll just never understand. But you and I understand. This firing of Kristi Noem, the Democrats think they got something here. They got nothing. I know some people are saying, no, she wasn't fired. She still got this other position. That position is not a cabinet position. So being a member of the cabinet's a big deal. It's a major demotion. She was fired. Come on. In the MAGA movement, we're not about spin. She was fired. And she was fired for a number of reasons. That $250 million on the ads, that was a big problem for President Trump. He was pissed off about that. And then she said that he approved it, so she blamed him for it. That was too much. But there was a moment in the hearing the other day. I played this on the show. I think I played this yesterday morning. I'm pretty sure I played this yesterday morning. If not yesterday morning, the morning before. I can't remember. I do so many shows, guys. Sometimes I can't remember which day was which on which show. If it was morning show, afternoon show. But I played earlier this week a clip from the hearing. One of the Democrats brought something up that I had not heard before. And Corey Lewandowski, who they do believe she's having an affair with. And remember when the one Democrat asked her if she was having sex with Lewandowski or ever had sex with him, she didn't say no. If she would have said no, and she has, that would be lying to Congress, which is a crime. But anyway, that was one of those things they're trying to catch her with the Scarlet Letter and all that stuff. But anyway, one of the Democrats asked her about something, and this is the clip I played a couple days ago, that something happened with a sweater of hers or some garment of hers on her private plane. And there were a couple things actually about the plane, but this one was crazy. There was some incident with a garment of hers, a sweater, a jacket, something or other, that he got left on the plane or something. And Corey Lewandowski had a freak out at the pilot of Kristi Noem's private government aircraft. And this pilot is a veteran Coast Guard officer. Now, it was unclear whether he currently serves in the Coast Guard or if he's a pilot working for Homeland Security now. We don't know. It was a little unclear. But that Corey Lewandowski, this is what came up in the hearing, just totally blew up at this pilot of the aircraft over Kristi Noem's sweater. This guy is all over the freaking road, man. Stop texting, dude. This guy's looking straight down like this, texting while he's driving. He's swerving all over the place like a drunk. Quick question before I finish this story. Would you rather be on the road where all the drivers are drunk or all the drivers are texting? If I had to choose between being on a busy highway where all the drivers were drunk or a busy highway with all the drivers texting, I'd pick the drunk drivers any day over the texters because at least the drunks are looking at the road. So anyway, this came up in the hearing the other day. Corey Lewandowski just had a freak out screaming at the pilot and actually fired him, which I didn't realize he had such authority, but I guess Kristi Noem backed him up, fired the pilot, this Coast Guard pilot. And then, I don't know, an hour went by, a half an hour, 2, some period of time went by, and they had to hire him again. They had to hire him back because they had nobody to fly Kristi Noem and Corey Lewandowski back at the plane. That came up in the hearing the other day. If that story is true, and that means that Kristi Noem and Corey Lewandowski are going around like nutcases, right? I mean, he put all this stuff together. I mean, that's just freaking insane. And these incidents that we are hearing about, this plane incident, the $250,000 on the ads featuring her, which are really campaign ads, a follow-up to the ad she did when she was governor of South Dakota. And then there was also some controversy about a new private aircraft that she purchased for herself as secretary. Those are the things we know about. Could you imagine what the hell has been going on that we don't know about? So Trump fired her, offered her this job, which is a major demotion. It's a position that doesn't even exist yet. It's a new job that the president's creating. And she's accepted it. She even tweeted about it yesterday. So let's make no mistakes here. She was fired by the president, and he was plenty pissed off. According to Senator Kennedy, Kennedy said he got a call the night before the hearing from the president, who was madder than a murderous hornet, were the words that Kennedy said. Madder than a murderous hornet. You gotta turn the air conditioning on. It's hot. Okay? So, yeah. But I was talking about this on my podcast. Mark Wayne Mullen, the replacement. This is beautiful. And I dropped this right at the top of my podcast yesterday, and cause no one had picked up on it. I didn't podcast right away because I was waiting for the news to develop a little bit before I did a podcast. So I waited like maybe 2 hours or about 2 hours after the news dropped before I went live on my podcast, because I wanted to see what developed. You know, when something breaks like that, things can change real quick. So I dropped this at the top of my podcast because I wanted to be the first to share this, and no one did. And still this morning, I haven't seen anyone point this out. Mark Wayne Mullen, who they're going to start going after big time. They're already doing it. They have a clip of him about Ashley Babbitt and all this stuff. Mark Wayne Mullen is the Democrats' worst nightmare when it comes to being Homeland Security Secretary. Now, of course, the main aspect of the job of the Homeland Security Secretary under President Trump is keeping the border closed, of course, but also the deportations. We've deported 5 million. It needs to be, it should be 10 or 15 million by now. So the deportations are going to get ramped up big time under Mark Wayne Mullen. And the reason that he is their biggest nightmare is because he's a Native American Indian. Mark Wayne Mullen, his family are Cherokee, and he is actually a citizen of the Cherokee Nation. And his family were around before the Trail of Tears and all that stuff. So we're going to have leading the deportations of the illegals, a citizen of the Cherokee Nation, a Native American Indian. And of course, the liberals are always telling us that the Native American Indians, that they're the ones to decide who should be here or not. Well, we got one now. His name is Mark Wayne Mullen. He's a citizen of the Cherokee Nation, and we're going to have a Native American Indian handling the deportations, liberals. So, you know, it's hilarious. I know. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I'm very surprised that no one has picked up on this. I'm heading to the radio station today. If you're new to my channel, my name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. You'll love this channel. On the next stream, I'll be live in the studio taking your calls. And today's Friday. I can't believe it's Friday already. That means open phones. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. You can call me about any and everything on your mind on Friday's show. So, Mark Wayne Mullen is their worst freaking nightmare. And I'm going to open the show with that today, too, because it shocks me that no one is covering that. I don't think people know. In fact, his family, before the Trail of Tears, Mark Wayne Mullen's family did a voluntary relocation. And where they currently live is the land that, it was before the Trail of Tears, the land that his ancestors settled in their voluntary relocation before the Trail of Tears. Oh, this is beautiful. Doesn't get better than that, guys. Doesn't get better than this. This is the absolute best. He is the best possible pick to lead the deportations. Yeah. And I don't know how many people know that he's a citizen of the Cherokee Nation. As I'm surprised that's not kind of like the lead about him. Because it's really an amazing thing when you think about it, right? You know, and the liberals want you to think that all the Indians are pissed off and been screwed over and all that stuff. Bunch of BS. And he's a real Indian, unlike Elizabeth Warren, by the way. Make no mistake about that. Yeah, I'm going to the radio station to do the show today. First time I've been up here in a couple of weeks. So I gotta leave really, really early. You know, if you've seen my video where I show how I set up, you can see how much goes into when I have to go to the radio station. It is very interesting. The war with Iran is going very, very well. We just took out, they had I didn't even know this existed, they had a drone aircraft carrier that we just took out. You know, it's an interesting thing because President Trump has said multiple times, including yesterday with the soccer players, that top people in Iran are calling us up and wanting to make deals. And President Trump's not interested in making any deals. This is total war. And total war was the policy of the United States during the Second World War with Germany and Japan. You know, there were multiple times with Germany, not so much Japan, but with Germany, where leaders in the government reached out to the Allies. They thought they could make a peace deal. And the Allies said unconditional surrender. And President Trump is not interested in negotiating with these people. Just not interested in it. And which is a good thing. I mean, you know, he said it's too late. All of a sudden they want to negotiate. Surprised no one in the media has gone to Obama, who last week, Obama was in the news last week like every day. No one has gone to him or John Kerry about the Iran deal. John Kerry brokered that crappy deal, and Obama flew the cargo planes filled with cash. So, you know, they've got a special place in their heart for the Islamic Republic of Iran, and no one's asked Obama or John Kerry about it since this war began, and tomorrow will have been a week. So, now remember, guys, today is Friday. Open phones on Friday show. Open Mag and Mike Friday. You can call me about any and everything on your mind on Friday show. I'm going to try to get back to drinking water like I'm supposed to. This is my first bottle today. I've already had 2 cups of coffee. A few years ago, I got on a water kick. I was drinking the amount of water you're supposed to, and I never felt better in my life. And I've tried to get back onto that a few times over the last few years unsuccessfully. And last night, I was updating my second YouTube channel, and I saw a video of mine, and I could tell when I saw it, it was back in my proper consumption of water phase, and my skin, I could tell my skin looked so great. And I remember that particular day, I was out vlogging. It was over 100 degrees, and the heat didn't even bother me because I was properly hydrated. So I'm going to try to do that starting now. And then by the time the cruise is in 2 weeks, so I drink so much coffee. Coffee dehydrates you, so. Oh boy. Yeah, so we took out this drone aircraft carrier. We took out the Soleimani ship of the Iranians with a torpedo from a submarine, which is the first time a U.S. submarine has used a torpedo to sink a surface ship or any ship since 1945. I kind of thought torpedoes were obsolete, but no, we took down the Soleimani with a torpedo. Pretty crazy, huh? Torpedoes are obviously not obsolete. I know it's a long drive to the radio station. I don't know how I did this I did this every day when the radio station moved. I don't know. Like 3 years. I don't know how I did it. It's exhausting. By the time I get done in the afternoon, it's really exhausting. I don't know how I was doing it. Well, my wife said I wasn't doing it very well. My wife was afraid I was going to collapse from exhaustion. That's why I started working from my home studio. But I come up to the radio station a couple times a month for things. So today I'll be broadcasting from the radio station. Oh boy, so things are going well. Mark Wayne Mullen is the best. I mean, this is amazing. It really is. I mean, think about it. To have a Cherokee Indian handling the deportations from the United States. I can't wait until the mainstream media and the liberals find out about that and so have to deal with that. I cannot wait. And I am very confident I was the first person to comment on that yesterday on my podcast. Probably even still, I haven't heard anyone comment on it yet. It's hilarious. There's no way that was not a factor in President Trump picking him. No way. Oh man, I got a bunch of semis here. Hold on, let me put the phone down while I do it. I gotta pass these guys. Hold on. Gotta pass these semis. One more. All right. Just passed 3 semis, and I wanted to have both hands on the wheel for them and pay attention. Well, I tell you, you got to hand it to long-haul drivers. I don't know how they do it. The road is hypnotic to me. Welcome, everyone. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. But there were a lot of factors into Kristi Noem being fired by the president. But, you know, at that event with the soccer team, not only did he have the Attorney General there, Pam Bondi, he made a big deal of pointing her out and complimenting her because he knew people were commenting already online, is Pam Bondi next? And he wanted everyone to know that he is behind Pam Bondi. So, as frustrated as all of us are about Pam Bondi and all of that, President Trump is not. So, we always got to stand behind and support President Trump. He knows more about what's going on with us, and he sees a big picture that we don't see. So, you always got to support whatever Trump's doing and who Trump supports. Right? Absolutely. All right, where am I? Okay. There's so much construction on the road. I saw Laura Loomer last night. She had a phone conversation, she said, for about 20 minutes with the president after the fighting with Iran started. And she told him everything that Tucker had been saying about him since he started attacking Iran. And he was not aware of it. You know, he's too busy to be paying attention to, you know, X. And he was not happy. So Tucker's in some hot water with the president. I'm going to play this one clip of Megyn Kelly today. I'm not going to tell you what it's about or why, but this is a big follow-up to something I talked about a couple of days on the show, and it's something you really got to question where Megyn Kelly is coming from right now. I almost took the MAGA scooter today, but around 10 a.m. it said 64% chance of rain, so I didn't want to get in the rain today. Oh, no, I'm not going to change lanes here. No way. Yeah, this clip of Megyn Kelly is unbelievable. She's doing a lot of damage. You know, this thing with Megyn Kelly where they're calling her Grandma Groiper, that has got to be driving her nuts because Megyn Kelly thinks everybody wants to have sex with her. You know? And I was telling you guys, when she thought she was going to make a move on the turning point after Charlie Kirk's assassination, that to the Turning Point crowd, she's a grandma. And here they are calling her Grandma Groiper, which of course is a Nick Fuentes reference. That's got to be driving her nuts because she doesn't want someone thinking of her as a grandma. She wants to think of herself as some sexy lady that every man of every age wants to have sex with. And not many people want to have sex with grandmas. Not even a lot of grandpas, right? It's got to be freaking her out. In fact, I think she might be in a panic over it, to tell you the truth. my wife thinks that Megyn Kelly wants to stop doing the podcast thing, that she wants to be back on the mainstream. Like, she would like to get hired by CBS, MS Now, or something. That she feels podcasting is beneath her and everything else. And, you know, when I started podcasting, the Brian Craig Show podcast, I started, well, there's been several levels of it, but the current Brian Craig Show podcast started 15 years ago. And podcasting wasn't as big then as it is now. And I like it because it's complete freedom. You have a great connection with the audience. And, you know, you don't have some boss over your shoulder. I think it's great, but it's not enough status for her. She wants back in the mainstream, is what my wife thinks. Yeah, and I got to notice about a week ago, you know, my podcast worldwide in my category, the Brian Craig Show podcast, was ranked 250 a few weeks ago. And about a week ago, I got a notification that I'm now ranked 200 in the world. And I know that may not seem like a lot. Oh, big deal, Brian, 200. There's how many? There's on Apple Podcast and Spotify, there's over 10 million podcasts. So, you know, to not have any corporate connection, no promotion, no marketing, just the word of mouth of you guys, to be 200 is pretty exciting to me. I have no marketing, no advertising, no one behind me, just you guys in the audience there that I appreciate so much. So 200 out, and there's more than 10 million podcasts, but that's just, yeah, thank you very much. But just on YouTube and Spotify, there's over 10 million podcasts. So to be 200 in my category, when there's so many podcasts out there, it just blows my mind. That's worldwide. But I don't really pay too much attention to that stuff. Every once in a while you'll hear me mention it, or somebody will send me something, or I'll see it online, because you get too involved in that stuff, it'll play tricks on you. You know what I mean? Oh, I did watch a little bit of Candace Owens this week. She's just totally lost her mind. I mean, I saw a little bit of her podcast yesterday about Erica Kirk. And then she had one earlier this week about Erica Kirk's mother. And she played some clip of Erica Kirk speaking to a group. And then and the things that Candace said after were just, I've never seen such a bitter, jealous person as Candace Owens. I just haven't. You know, and you know, this series she did on Erica Kirk, it's just so over the line, and the connections that she weaves together are just, it's the rants of a lunatic. And it's so inappropriate. I mean, you know, Charlie Kirk's assassination, imagine how traumatizing that is. to her. You know, she's got to worry about her safety and the safety of her children. There's a lot of weirdos out there. Brutal assassination in 4K that the whole world saw. She's going through God only knows what. She's trying to keep Charlie's legacy alive with Turning Point. And that's a lot of pressure to keep that going. And then she's got this jealous, obsessed woman doing these terrible videos and everything. It's crazy town. Complete crazy town. You know, I mean, it's sad. It's absolutely just, I feel so, I don't mean Candace is sad. She's disgusting. I'm talking about it's sad what she's doing to Erica Kirk. But in her most recent episode, I saw last night on YouTube some of it, she looks crazed, Candace. She looks just totally crazed. Okay. The next exit is mine. See, it's starting to rain. This is why I didn't bring the Vespa. It's raining up here. Plus, it takes a long time to get up here. Because I'm not going to take my MAGA scooter on the Turnpike or I-95. I have to take back roads, so it takes a long time. But I don't want to ride in the rain and get all wet. That's the worst. Not just getting wet. Sometimes the rain can hurt when you're going down the road on a bike. Stings a little bit. Every drop stings. Oh. Okay, got about a mile or so until my exit. I don't want to miss the exit. Welcome. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. This is where MAGA comes to talk. And like the video if you don't mind. Please like the video. That helps a lot. I do not want to miss this exit. I don't know how much longer Candace is going to be able to carry on this Erica Kirk obsession. She goes from obsession to obsession. It was the Jews for a while, and then Macron's wife, and now this. So, what she does next, who knows? I mean, she really did too many parts to this. I would imagine even her lunatic followers that believe her crap are probably burned out on the Erica Kirk series. It's just too much. So it took me about 35 minutes to get to the exit. That's not bad at this hour of the morning. If I brought my other car, it would take longer. And then it takes about 20-30 minutes to set up before the show when I come to the radio station. But I'm going to lead with the Kristi Noem firing and Mark Wayne Mullen. That's going to be my lead story today on the main morning show. I just love that Mark Wayne Mullen is a citizen of the Cherokee Nation. We're going to have a real Cherokee Indian doing all these deportations. Oh, it doesn't get better than that. It does not get better than that. That's so perfect. What are they going to say to that? Right? How can they give us a hard time about that? In my community section here on the channel, I put a link to a vlog on my second channel, guys. Make sure you watch that and subscribe to my second channel. There's a link to my second channel in the description, but I put a vlog that you'll really like. It's a good one in my community section, so please check that out and subscribe to my second channel, my vlog channel. Always use your turn signals, guys. You know, when you not using your turn signals to change lanes is the #1 thing that gets people pulled over on the highway. Really, after speeding in general, but you're more likely to get pulled over for not using the signal than speeding in a lane change. I was watching this attorney who has a YouTube channel giving people advice on how to handle cops during traffic stops and such, and he gave some advice that I think is bad news. I think is the kind of advice that leads to you having to hire him. You know, he said, a question you should not answer. He says, you know, when police officers pull you over for a traffic stop, they're probing, right? And they're trying to find something to use against you to jam you up, which is true. And they all ask you, where you going, where you coming from, where you been, and all that stuff. And usually people say, I'm going to work, I'm going home, I was out here, I was out there. He says, don't answer that question. And he says, if they persist to start asking you where are you coming from and where you're going, to tell them that you're not going to answer any questions about your personal life. And they'll leave you alone. I don't think so. I don't think so. My mother got into a car accident yesterday, which was not her fault. And she was by herself. She was taking her dog to the vet. And what happened to my mother, it just pisses me off. And I'm going to try to get her to challenge this. But hold on. I'm going to make sure I get the right. Oh, shoot. I missed the turn. That's okay. I can turn here. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. I'll park in a second. My mother had an incident yesterday. And she got in a car accident. Somebody hit her. And what happened really pissed me off. I wish I was there. So, a guy, a guy hit my mother yesterday, and my mother is retired. My mother is 74, okay? And this guy hit my mother in the driver's side of her car, and the police came, and the police officer was really nasty. Guy was driving, and he was in the car with his girlfriend, okay? And hold on a second, guys. Give me a second. Okay. So anyway, this guy, he's in the car with this girl. He hits my mother. And the cops come, and my mother got a ticket, but with the guy didn't. And the guy was driving. He had his girlfriend in the car, and my mother said that they switched drivers. That by the time the cop got there, him and his girlfriend had switched seats, and she said she was driving. Yeah, she's okay. I'm glad she's okay. Her car, not so much. But they switched. And when the cops got there, his girlfriend, they had switched seats, and she said she was driving, not him. Can you believe this? And for some reason, my mother got the ticket. And I'm in shock about this. And you can tell by I know where the accident was and how her car was hit, that it was not her fault. It was the other driver, but they switched driver seats. So I said to my mom, I said, he was probably drunk. A lot of times, a lot of times when people are drunk or on drugs and they get into an accident, they will leave the scene of an accident, or if they're with somebody, they'll switch seats. If someone's not hurt, at least here in Florida, leaving the scene of the accident, if no one's hurt, is a ticket, and the ticket penalty is much less than a DUI, right? So I said to my mom, I said, what? I said, did you tell the police officer? She said, yeah, and he didn't seem to care or believe her. And I said, was the guy that was, I said, you sure he was driving? She said, yeah, he was driving. She saw them switch. And I said, oh, he must have been drunk or on drugs. She says, no, he didn't seem either. She thinks that he's an illegal. And that he was afraid of getting picked up. And I said, you know what? I would not be surprised. He was either an illegal, drunk, on drugs, or has a suspended license. One of those. But she just said, by the way he carried himself, she thought he was an illegal. And he was afraid of getting jammed up with the cops. And he really messed my mom's car up pretty bad. You know, and I told her she should fight it, but I don't think she's going to. But they switched drivers. He was driving, and he switched with his girlfriend before the cop got there. And I don't know if the traffic cameras would catch that, but I think the judge would toss the ticket. I think the judge would toss the ticket. You know, and my daughter was close by. So she called my daughter, and my daughter came to the scene and saw them do the switch too. So my daughter actually saw them do the switch. So she's got, I mean, I don't know how good of a witness my mother's granddaughter is going to be in a court proceeding, but you get, I think a judge, I think there's enough there where a traffic magistrate would toss out the ticket. She is okay. That was my first question. Is she okay? Pissed me off. Happened yesterday afternoon. I wish I was there. And, you know, I don't know what the cop was doing. Maybe because my mother is, like, you know, 74. Maybe the little ageism going on there. But I don't know. There's something not right about that situation. I'll tell you that. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. And on the next stream, I'll be in the studio taking your calls. Today is Friday, which means it's Open Mega Mic Friday. You can call in about any and everything on your mind. I know it is disgusting. I am plenty pissed off about it. Plenty pissed off about it. But she just wants to pay the ticket and let her insurance take care of her car. But I would not let it go. I would not let it go. That I would most definitely I would most definitely contest it. Most definitely. No doubt. Wouldn't you? There's just something not right about it. Something is just not right. But, you know, that's what happened. Welcome, everyone. Make sure you subscribe if you are new. But I'm going to lead with the firing of Kristi Noem and Mark Wayne Mullen. Mark Wayne Mullen is a citizen of the Cherokee Nation. It's well documented. His family have documentation that go before the Trail of Tears. And to have a Native American Indian handling the deportations is so beautiful. I love it. That's why you need a dash cam. Yeah, well, you know. I'm just glad she's okay. But her car, she just thinks it's dense, but she's going to need a new door, at least one new door, her driver's door. She might need a new rear door, and she's going to need a new front fender. It damaged a rim of hers, you know. So she had to, you know, so she's got to get a new rim for one of her tires. It's a mess. The car was drivable on the spare. My daughter drove her home. It is terrible. I'm pretty pissed about it. But, you know, I'm not going to talk about it on the air, on the radio, because, you know, a lot of cops listen, and I don't want to, you know, I want to try to get my mom to contest it. You know, I was talking to her last night about it. She's like, "No, just pay it. I don't want to be hassled." I think a traffic magistrate with this case would swear them in, and that woman would have to swear under oath under penalty of perjury that she was driving the car during the accident. And I think there's enough there where a magistrate would toss the ticket. May not be able to prove that who was really driving the other car in the court, but I think there's enough that the traffic magistrate would toss it. But I can't contest it for her. I'm going to try to talk her into it. You know, and she's got a friend who's one of the traffic court attorneys who would handle it for her. You know, sometimes, you know, you get to a certain age, sometimes people don't want to be bothered, but a lot of things I would let go. It's not worth my time, but this is worth your time. I mean, they did so much damage to her car. Their insurance company should be covering this, not my mother's insurance company. You know? You know, I got, you know, about 10 or 15 years ago, I got into an accident where my car was totaled. It wasn't my fault. And my insurance company went after the insurance company of the person that hit me. Didn't affect me at all because it wasn't my fault. You know, those things are important, you know, on top of your insurance rates. I don't know how it's going to affect your insurance rates. I'm not done talking to her, but I'm going to see her tomorrow. I'll try to talk her into contesting it. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to run, but I'll see you on the next stream, all right? Make sure you subscribe if you're new, and I'll be taking your calls in the studio on the next stream, all right? See ya. Take care. Thanks for watching.